I'm saying there's a chance. The case for Ron Sanchez to get the UVA basketball job. Chris Graham here, Augusta Free Press. Now, I'm not hearing this officially, so grain of salt there. I've been reporting a lot the last few weeks, couple months, with dispatches from the unofficial official search committee that's tasked with the responsibility of helping identify and vet potential UVA basketball coach candidates. What I'm about to say is not anything related to anybody there saying anything official or unofficial or anything else. This is me talking here, okay? This is rare, but it's me talking here. So I say all that to say, gotta think Ron Sanchez is on the verge of getting his name back into the mix for the UVA basketball job. On the verge, getting back in the mix. So not, not saying anything more than that. It's two games now, but the last two, the 73-57 win at Pitt last Monday night, the 75-61 win over Georgia Tech on this past Saturday in GPJ, have looked like the kind of basketball that we've come to expect from the guys in the orange and blue the last few years. Point guard Andrew Rohde, who had 11 points and 9 assists in Saturday's win, talked after the game about the team, quote, getting more comfortable, which is obvious. The back-to-back wins and three wins for Virginia in its last four have the Hoos at 12 and 12, pretty modest. Far below expectations going into the season. And at this stage in the regular season, 7 games left, and then ACC tournament, I think we can presume that now. It's clear it would take a run of NC State proportions winning the ACC tournament to get an NCAA tournament bid. But a strong finish down the stretch could result in an NIT bid. Basically, finish over 500, maybe an NIT bid comes your way, which is a consolation prize. But we've seen in past programs use an NIT bid for something to build for the future. Think back, 1980s NIT championship for UVA, Ralph Sampson's freshman season, 1981, that team went to the Final Four. 1992, another UVA team won an NIT championship. 1993, the UVA team the next year was in the Sweet 16. The 2022 NIT team, which went to the quarterfinals that year, was the foundation of a 2023 ACC regular season champion team. So there's precedent there. But that's assuming that there would be a future for this group. Almost certainly a new coach outside of Ron Sanchez would come in with a new approach, new assistants, and probably interested in putting together, if not entirely a whole new roster, pretty much a whole new roster, which you can do now in the NIL transfer portal era. The search committee leading the effort to identify and vet candidates for the open job have reportedly been interested in making a splash. And when I talk about a splash, I'm talking about the big names. Guys like Baylor Scott Drew, Marquette Shaka Smart, Purdue's Matt Painter have been floated to me as possible top flight candidates for this job. All are reaches, though. And what happens if the big names turn us down and we're left with the second tier where the names that have been floated to me from the committee include, quality coaches, guys like VCU's Ryan Odom, Furman's Bob Ritchie, Sanford's Bucky McMullen. There have been some others that have been mentioned to me. But let's say, for the sake of argument, that Sanchez finishes out the regular season, those last 7 games, a tough stretch. There's games including, Duke is on the schedule, a game at Virginia Tech before the Duke game. So a Saturday, Monday double at Virginia Tech, Duke at home. UNC next Saturday, the following Saturday. Wake and Clemson are on the schedule. I think Florida State and Syracuse. It's not going to be easy. But let's say, for sake of argument, that Sanchez goes 5-2, and one of those wins is over Duke. I'm prefacing everything I say as far as that goes. I've been telling people this little theory of mine for a few days. The record with a win over Duke, because that would signify, hey, this group of kids could beat a really talented group of kids, um, and they'll be a year older next year. The Duke kids won't be. The Duke kids will be going to the NBA. All right, so you finish that out. You maybe win a game in the ACC tournament, maybe not. But if you're 5-2 in the ACC the rest of the way, you're 17 and 14. Let's say you're 18 and 15, right? You get an NIT bid, maybe win a game there, maybe win a couple games there. You finish with 18, 19, 20 wins, momentum down the stretch. Is Ryan Odom, Bob Ritchie, Bucky McMullen, or whoever the other second tier guys might be, are they better with a new staff and entirely new roster than Ron Sanchez with this young roster a year older that has a win over a Duke team, some other impressive wins down the stretch if they finished out and get an NIT bid that would take some impressive wins down the stretch. And going forward, if we assume that the money people are ready to invest in basketball the way they have this offseason in football, and they've put some money in football, there's no question about that. If we don't get the guy we want, do we just up and replace what we have because we assume it will be better? There are seven regular season games left. I've emphasized that point. It's looking like at least one in the ACC tournament if things go well. Maybe an NIT bid after that. It's only two games. I'm basing everything I just said here on two games, two good performances, two very good performances. I kind of though after those two performances want to see this team play some more, and I don't just mean this year. I want to see them play this year, but we may never know. We may never see it. If things don't work out, Ron Sanchez isn't the coach. The guy scattered of the winds. We may never know what they could have done next year. In fact, if they do scatter the wins, we won't know what they would have done next year. I kind of would like to see it though. I mean, maybe I'll just have to run a computer simulation. I don't know. All I'm suggesting is it's in their hands, and by they, in their, Ron Sanchez and his players have played themselves into position to have a shot to run it back next year.